Hello and greetings. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're on to Augustine, and today I have another update for us. And first of all, before I begin, I want to first of all welcome each and every one of us that will be watching this video to a brand new week. And I'll be as brief as I can, and I hope that all of us enjoys our week. And this week is going to be quite exciting because there are a whole lot of packages that has been set out for us and by the administrators beginning from today going forward. You shall understand some of these things. Today, the title of my broadcast is What Happens If the Entire World Embraces TBC? Now, I'm going to quickly share a video with us. We're going to watch the video together. After watching that video, then I quickly share another video with us. But before I do that, I would also pass us through some informations. And then after that, I share the video, and then that will be all. And I hope you'll be able to get something from the information that I'm here to pass across. So if you are coming into my broadcast for the very first time, I would appreciate if you can subscribe to my channel and also give me a thumbs up. Click on the notification, right? All right, that said, let me quickly share my screen so that I can, after that, then we go into the next content. I would, as much as possible, summarize everything I'm doing so that we can save as much time as possible. So let's watch this together. I think it's having a bit of network hitch. Hold on. I mean, it should be sharing here, but it's not sharing. Let me check it out again. Okay. It's having a bit of network issue. I really don't know why it's doing this. Hold on, let me check it out again. I think the network is good now. I think the network is good now. All right. So sorry about the network issue. All right. So let's try it again. Okay.
It is very clear that the head of the snake is the financial system. The whole point of finance is to indebt, otherwise to enslave. What is a mortgage? I mean, what does that stand for? It's a death grip. So when you get a mortgage, you have a death grip held over you because you are in debt. You don't even own the house. The bank owns the house that loans you the money to buy the house, unless you're fortunate enough to have all the money to buy it outright. And even then, you can be taxed by the government, and if you fail to keep up with those taxes, the government can then take it from you. The whole system is based on a financial fraud which effectively takes the power that we have and it gives it to a tiny group of individuals who are running the world through the control of finance. With the infinite supply of money that we have allowed them to take, they have literally an infinite supply of money, and with that money, and from their psychopathic point of view, they have bought everything and everyone who can be bought.
All right. I believe this video has been it has hit the nail on the head. Now, This is how my introduction will begin. Now, we are actually fighting to gain back control from the elites and then from every powers that be. And that's why TBC is existing. Now, what happens if the entire world system embraces TBC? And one thing we should bear in mind is everything that this man has talked about is concerning taxes. How these guys take advantage of us, and then every way they tax us in this way, they tax us in that way. Now, are you also aware that in our TBC community, that the government cannot tax you for holding TBC? Now, before we even go into details of that, let us go into the kind of taxes that do exist. Now, that actually brings me into this content. Now, on this content, it is the three basic tax types. Now, there are several taxes, different types of taxes. I may not have full knowledge of them all, but the truth is, taxes are the ways that the government siphon money from you and I. And then they make it look like it is a legal thing. They make it look like it is something that you must do to be able to keep yourself running. As a citizen that submits to the government, they are actually stealing money from you, and then they brand it and call it taxes. Now, you are going to know a few things, and then you will also understand why being in the TBC community is a protection. Now, when you scroll down, I'm not going to show us all of them. I just want you to see a few of these taxes. Individual income taxes. This is one of the taxes. Now, when you still go down, you see that there is another tax, corporate income taxes. Now, still going down, you see payroll taxes, and then capital. In fact, these guys are everywhere. They've made sure that they have spread their branches everywhere so that it doesn't matter what you do, you are going to be under their umbrella of control. Gross receipt taxes, value added taxes, excise taxes, property taxes. Man, these guys are eating everywhere. There is no place. And you know what the kind of control that they have? It is because of the concept of fiat. They use that concept, tax you, print money out of thin air, manipulate the whole system, and you are at their mercy. Tangible property taxes. These are some kind of taxes, and there are a whole lot. Estate and inherit. Can you imagine inheritance taxes? So for even what you have inherited, they tax you on it. I think these guys are evil, and it's high time that the system of control is taken out of control, taken out of their hand. Wealth taxes. Wow. There is no place you go to that you will not see taxes. All kinds of taxes, and I am sure that there are much more kinds of taxes. It is what this government has used to hold you and I subject to their enslavement. You cannot breathe air freely because you, at the end of every effort you make, they steal out some of your money. Now they are going to keep stealing out more. Now there is this projection that between now and the next 10 years, governments are going to tax you at 100%. There is this concept they have, and they are building to make it globally adopted. It means you own nothing and you'll be extremely happy. We're going to share the video together now. We'll watch it. Now, this is one of the reasons why TBC is there. Now, after I finish watching this video, I will then refer back to our public notice so that you will see what TBC has to offer. You cannot be in the TBC community and still you will be paying taxes. You can't pay taxes for holding TBC. Now, that thing is what money you are achieving, you are accumulating, because we are still in the distribution phase. If you look into the cryptocurrency space, you'll find out that much exchanges now, the governments are taxing them to pay taxes for every effort made. And that's the system that they are using. It's a new system, but they want to gain control before you even say Jack Robinson. Are you going to allow them to continue to tax you to the point where you become a complete slave, or you want an alternative way by coming into the TBC community and working with us? Sorry, I didn't even share my screen on this. Now I'll share my screen so that we can actually see what I'm showing. Okay. Yeah, I'm sharing my screen now. Now I was showing you a few number of taxes. These are taxes. Every nooks and crannies, there are taxes. And they are going to continue to increase these taxes to the point where you won't be able to have a breath of fresh air. And that's where the concept of slavery comes in. It's a debt-based system. And as long as these debt-based systems continue to exist, you and I would not be able to raise up your head. Now, based on that, let's quickly share this video. Then I conclude by showing us our Kringle Cash and our public notice, knowing fully well that if you are in the TBC community, for achieving or accumulating TBC coins, you will not be taxed. Now, imagine a system where the entire world system embraces TBC. And imagine a system where even the TBC members go into politics and then make it mandatory, just like the way El Salvador is making it compulsory to use Bitcoin. We also make it compulsory that TBC can be used as a medium of exchange. We are going to checkmate all these things that they are doing. All these kind of taxes that they are so high income taxes that they are giving us, making it difficult for us to raise up our head. We are going to correct such anomaly. Why and how are we going to go about it? It's simple. There is already going to be an audit department, and provided there are members of the TBC community that are in the government and they make it lawful for people to use TBC as an alternative, all these excessive taxes that the government has put in, we are going to refine such policies, and we're going to set it aside, because already in the TBC community there is what you call funds that are paid, which I will refer to as subscription fees, and that's our own way of saying we're keeping the system running. We won't call them taxes because it's a system that helps you run, and as long as you are paying that subscription fee, you are getting value for your coins by the day. That's a good one, a very good one, by the way. So if that system is running and we are having enough revenue, and then the revenue is given to the core team and the mass adoption team to keep the system running, I don't think all these taxes are going to be needed. We are going to abolish them, and we are going to build a better and a more formidable system based on the principle of abundance. Now, I've said a whole lot. Let's just share this video and then we conclude. All right. Now, this video is actually something that you should understand, that if you are doing nothing, you will own nothing. If you are doing nothing, is coming and it's going to overtake you by default. So make your choice and choose wisely. So let's watch it together.
The title of this video projects an ominous future where the masses are controlled by a few. Over the years, I have made several videos covering the elite gathering in Davos. The global elites see the World Economic Forum, WEF, as an opportunity for various causes. These people often fail to see that many of us have come to view Davos as a notorious rendezvous for the world's elite that grant us the honor of paying for their schemes in some way or form. Such gatherings are not for our sake, but more for the benefit of plutocrats like Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg and Amazon's Jeff Bezos. The global reset they are pushing often reeks of their desire to break the world, with their ruthless corporate agendas that continue to move political power into the hands of the globalist elite. To counter this attitude, reassuring words are cast out over the airwaves to us, the minions of the world, to encourage faith in their wisdom. Oh, what a tangled web those in charge of our fate have woven for us as they rush to sell and bargain away our freedom for power and wealth. When the WEF revealed its Davos 2021 agenda, it confirmed the event this year would be digital and herald the public unveiling of its Great Reset initiative. Angel Gurria and Klaus Schwab have outlined how governments and businesses can shape a new labor market that supports workers to thrive in the future. This underlines how the COVID-19 pandemic has accelerated systemic changes that were apparent before its inception. The COVID-19 pandemic has been used as confirmation that no institution or individual alone can address the economic, environmental, social, and technological challenges of our complex, interdependent world. It is also being touted as a reason to support the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. 193 UN member states adopted this 15-year global framework in its ambitious set of 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, in September 2015. With 169 targets and over 230 indicators, the 2030 Agenda envisions a secure world free of poverty and hunger, with full and productive employment, access to quality education, and universal health coverage. Thrown into the mix is the achievement of gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls, and an end to environmental degradation. The 2030 Agenda is a global framework of action for people, the planet, prosperity, peace, and partnership. It integrates social, economic, and environmental dimensions of sustainable development, as well as peace, governance, and justice elements. It makes clear that developing and developed countries alike will implement the agenda. This is important in ensuring that no one is left behind in the achievement of the SDGs. A great deal of attention has been given to some of the ideas and vision the WEF has floated. A powerful one became visible when WEF Public Relations released a video entitled, 8 Predictions for the World in 2030. Its 2030 agenda offers a telling glimpse into what the technocratic elite has in store for the rest of us. It promotes the idea that by 2030, you will own nothing. And you'll be happy. The UN's 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development is a comprehensive plan that outlines how we can abolish poverty and transform the world into a peaceful, sustainable environment for all. When persuasive speakers cloak an agenda in flowery rhetoric, it is often difficult to determine what is noble or separate something altruistic from a sinister plot. Nor can we be certain that events will unfold more favorably if simply left to develop on their own rather than being manipulated. Still, the ideas flowing out of the World Economic Forum and those seeking a reset and a new one world order reek of self-serving bias. Not all of what the World Economic Forum predicts will happen, but events are being shaped to unfold in that way. Examining what is being called for sheds a bit of light on how we might expect our future to look. The ideas and predictions of the WEF do not seem so far-fetched when you consider. Many people are already comfortable and busy renting things like cars, tools, apartments, so this has become a normal way to live. It is easy to argue that shared commodities save resources. Many people think the US will be unable to keep its position as the world leader. In fact, in many ways, the US has already abdicated this role. When it comes to things such as organ printing, we tend to jump the gun in predicting it is just around the corner, but research is continuing and huge progress is being made. The argument you simply can't feed 10 billion people with meat and move these people into heavy consumer-based lifestyles has merit. At some point, the population must stop expanding or we will create a nightmare of food shortages and cause more damage to the planet. Down the road, billions of people will be displaced, especially at the shore, because of rising sea levels. Others because of droughts. This means we will have to learn how to deal better with migration or we will have huge cultural wars. Western values are already being tested because of globalization and migration. The fact that change in the future might scare us does not mean we can simply deny reality and call everything we don't like or understand a conspiracy. Life is impermanent and nothing stays the way it is. We all die eventually and history shows even big civilizations vanish. The agenda to change the world includes things such as controlling people through things such as social credit scores. Expect these to be linked to those you associate with, including family members you seldom agree with. Sadly, the people that drew up this plan forgot that what they are proposing is the abolition of private property or communism, a theory that has failed to ever bring prosperity to any country. Another key part of this plan focuses on controlling the masses. This is also problematic and reeks of totalitarianism. While many people view big tech as the great enabler, a very dark side of it exists. Surrendering to its allure gives big tech and those in charge of it the power to enslave the human race. When mankind turns its future over to technology and no longer takes responsibility for learning the most basic lessons that have brought us so far, it gives up its soul. The idea we will move in the direction of creating a benevolent form of artificial intelligence that will protect and watch over us is far-fetched. It is frightening to entrust that in the future machines will value the contributions humans make to the overall scheme of things. Intertwined and masked within the WEF include a total lack of privacy, the loss of control to move about freely, or the ability to purchase anything you want with your money and controlling how that property is used. Of course, this is all for the greater good, but is it? History shows that in a society where private ownership is banned or not encouraged, people lack skin in the game. This tends to result in people failing to shoulder responsibility for much of what happens. When society has a problem rather than rely on education, the natural impulse of totalitarians is to limit the choices or speech of others. The instinct to compel rather than to persuade is evident in many politicians across the world. In the past, each year as the highfalutin Davos extravaganza unfolded, I seemed to get a pain in my stomach that some might consider envy, but having attended my share of events, I consider it more of a sickening feeling related to the over-the-top self-importance of many attending. Much of my angst is directed at the how ironic that we pay the same clowns that create so many of our problems to gather in luxury to discuss how they might further their deeds. I find it so interesting that someone flying across the globe on a private aircraft can sit down and discuss their environmental concerns and how each of us must do more to save the planet. In some ways, a person might even go so far as to describe such a gathering as downright evil. In his writings, George Orwell pointed out that when society has a problem rather than rely on education, the natural impulse of totalitarians is to limit the choices or speech of others. The instinct to compel rather than to persuade is evident in many politicians across the world. As big businesses and big tech have grown to where they rival or control governments, it is not surprising to see their leaders adopt this attitude. While growing inequality makes the prediction you will own nothing more likely, it does little to guarantee we will be happy. This was the Nomad Economist.
I believe this matter has been addressed. And now, why I'm actually here to educate you is that this is what the are having for us. Now, let's look into what the Kringle Cash has for us. And then after that, I think you do your homework. I wouldn't do everything for you. Quickly go into your public notice. When you go into your public notice and then look through your public notice, now there is a particular reference in your public notice which I want to share. And it's actually taking a while to load. Now, is this secret? I want us to take time to look through this secret. This secret has a whole lot. It is when the Security Exchange Commission in the United States investigated us. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because when they come to tax everything you have, and humanity sees what they are doing, of course, they will have an option, and that option is the TVC community. When they come into the system, there is no doubt that humanity will embrace us. Within a very short while, it's going to happen much more before 2030, as they are saying. Our membership of 1 billion should happen anytime soon. And as soon as that membership has been achieved, we are going to take power out of their control and then make this world a better place. I believe I've driven my point to the destination that is supposed to get to. So I want to stop at this point. I'll stop here, and then there is so much I wanted to say, but because of my time, I have a whole lot of things to still attend to. I'll be coming in live by tomorrow, and I have something very important for us to listen to tomorrow. And tomorrow's information will border a whole lot on preparing yourself for the meeting we'll be having tomorrow. The meeting are only for those who are active in our TBC community. I'm talking of the mass adoption meeting. So for those of us that will be watching, do well to share and then also subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. So till I come your way again, most likely tomorrow, understand that there is no way that this system that the elites are pushing will prevail over TBC. It doesn't matter your opinion will not count, because we are building in truth and in righteousness, and because of we are building on this foundation, we will definitely prevail. Your opinion may be contrary, but watch and see how time shall speak for us. On this ground, I'll call this meeting to a close. Till I come your way again some other time. Cheers, thank you, and God bless you. Bye for now.